Commander, you are a warrior, a true champion of the battlefield. Today I'm going to show you how to play a Fury Warrior the easy way. But before I do, let's take a look at how they work. For Fury Warriors, it's all about keeping yourself enraged so that you can do as much physical damage as possible. Enrage is an 8-second buff that gives you 10 additional rage and increases your damage by 10%. You become enraged primarily when your Bloodthirst deals a critical strike. Generally, you'll want to keep this on cooldown in order to maintain your enrage buff. Also, when you become enraged, you gain a charge of Raging Blow, so use Raging Blow whenever it's available. Keep in mind that you can only store a maximum of 2 Raging Blow charges. Next, you'll want to keep whatever level 60 talent you've chosen on cooldown. Next, use Wild Strike whenever you get a Blood Surge proc. Blood Surge allows you to use 2 Wild Strikes without costing any rage. Speaking of rage, your number one priority should be to avoid capping rage. You can do this by spending it on Wild Strike. If you're not near rage cap, then go ahead and focus on the rest of your abilities. But if you have nothing else to cast, go ahead and spend your rage on Wild Strike, but try to only do this whenever you're enraged. Now once your target is below 20% health, your most important ability becomes Execute. At this point, you'll want to start spending your rage on Execute rather than Wild Strike, and only use Wild Strike whenever you have the Blood Surge procs. But as long as you are enraged, Execute is your number one priority. Keep in mind that if you've chosen the Sudden Death talent, you can get the Sudden Death proc, which will allow you to use Execute at any time. As for AoE, you're pretty much going to do the exact same thing, except you're going to spend your rage on Whirlwind. Lastly, keep in mind that you have a cooldown called Berserker Rage. It's a 30-second cooldown, but it will give you the enraged buff. So use this as a failsafe whenever you're not becoming enraged. And that's a very basic rundown on how to play a Fury Warrior. It's a lot easier than it sounds, but if it's still a bit too daunting for you, we can make it even easier. But keep in mind, this is not for min-maxing or for hardcore raiders. It's for casual play, or for people with disabilities like myself. You will need a mod called Gnome Sequencer, which can be found on WoW Interface. There will be a link in the description below. So download it, unzip it, and place it in your add-ons folder. Now to make things easier, I have provided a file containing all of my macros designed for Gnome Sequencer. You can find a link to it in the description below. The file is called sequences.lua, so download it and place it in the Gnome Sequencer folder that you just put in your add-ons folder. If you followed all of these steps correctly, you're ready to log into the game and create the macros. Now that you have Gnome Sequencer set up with my sequences file, you are ready to begin making macros in game. It is important that you give the macros the names that I tell you, and that you do not put any text in the macro field. Just name them and place them on your action bar, and Gnome Sequencer will do the rest. The macro is simply named Fury. This macro will keep Bloodthirst on cooldown, and it will cast Raging Blow whenever it becomes available. It'll also cast Execute whenever Sudden Death procs or the target is below 20% health and you have the rage for it. I've also added Stormbolt in my macro because it's my talent of choice. Victory Rush is also included, but that's mostly for leveling or questing. Still, it's one less thing you have to worry about. Wild Strike and Whirlwind were not included, and so they'll need to be managed separately. The macro also takes care of a lot of your cooldowns like your Trinkets, Berserker Rage, Recklessness, and Bloodbath. This macro is designed to minimize the amount of abilities you have to worry about and to make the execute phase even easier. This allows you to focus more on spending your rage properly and keep an eye out for the Blood Surge procs. Once you feel like you've gotten the hang of that and you want to start getting more out of your warrior, I recommend that you stop using the macro and start playing the warrior the normal way. That way you'll be able to make more intelligent decisions, allowing you to get the most out of your enrage buff. But that's pretty much how I play a Fury Warrior. If you're interested, feel free to give it a try. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that like button, or even the favorite button. And if you found it informative, perhaps you'd like to inform your friends by sharing it with them. And don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see future videos on this channel. Thanks for watching, have a wonderful day, this is TheKephas, until next time.